Alright. Hello, everybody. We're just doing a quick test of the audio, and here comes Cole. Waiting for him to give me the A-OK, and then we'll just launch right into the day's schedule. Are we good, Cole?
We're good to go, man.
All right, perfect. Sounds great to me. All right, everybody. We're going to wait for about a minute or so, just give people time to get on the live stream, and then we'll launch right in. So if you don't mind just waiting and humiliating us for just a moment, we'll be ready to go ahead and launch into the day. Real quick, Cole, before you get started, just how's your day?
It was pretty good. Half day today, so
you know. The half day got me.
I'm so lost because it's Thursday and it's a half day, and there's a football game on a Thursday. So I don't know.
It just feels wrong. I was sitting there.
I'm so lost.
I had a meeting today at 2:30, and I get home. I lay down, and at 2:19 I wake up. I had one of those naps. I'm sweaty all over. I had the markings of the pillow against me, and at 2:19 I was almost late for my meeting. And with that, I think we probably waited long enough. So hello, everybody, and welcome to DH Conley Game Day. My name is Griff Brimhall. I'm the co-host. This is your main host, Cole Martin. And before we launch in, we just want to once again give a huge shout out to the athletics department for making this happen.
Absolutely.
Real quick, Cole, let's just cover these up.
So it's for those who are wondering right now. It's a bit rainy out here. That's kind of the forecast, at least for a little bit longer. We're hoping this rain will hold off for the game, not just the game, but also DHC Game Day.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. It's a little soggy, but once again, what I was getting to before we begin, I just want to give a huge shout out to the athletic department for making this happen. We live stream on the Conley Athletics Instagram. Our live is monitored by our lovely athletic director, Coach Mack, and our amazing principal, Mr. Whirl. And a big shout out to the librarians and Mr. Grandpa.
Yeah, shout out Coach Grandpa. This is actually his shirt, so
I'm wearing Coach Mack's shirt right now. So they once again just give us the wonderful opportunity to do this. And let's just hop right into it. So our schedule for today, we're going to start with a recap of the last game. We're going to break down stats for Northside, the opponent, and Conley. We're going to talk about our impact players and then take a quick break. When we come back, we will be interviewing Mr. Sawyer. And then we will talk about athletics for the week, take one more short break, and come back with a guest star, Noah Futrell. Our breaks are going to be kept short today, 3 minutes maximum. So if you catch us while we're on break, just be sure to wait. And with that, I think we're ready. So, Cole, your sister is a cheerleader, so you're at a lot of games. Yes. I was not able to attend the last game, but you were. How did that go?
Yeah, so last game, maybe not the result that we wanted. Lost to Northern Nash 55-17. Running game was very dominant for the Northern Nash Knights. Ended up having 6 rushing touchdowns. Wow. Which, I mean, if you're telling me, that sounds like either an Army or Navy type offense right there, if you're asking me.
It reminds me of a certain Alvin Kamara performance.
Oh, yes.
Wow, I remember that day vividly.
I had to go against him in fantasy too, Griff, so
I had him in fantasy.
Oh, no. See,
it was amazing.
These past couple of weeks, I had to go against Alvin Kamara and James Cook back-to-back. So, I mean,
you're telling me I had Tua, my starting quarterback, out on IR. I had Puka Nacua, my first overall pick, out on IR. I was missing Joe Mixon. I was missing Devo Samuel. It's been a rough week for me in fantasy.
Yeah, well, I don't think injury's been the thing for me. My team hasn't been playing well. And, when my team has played well, I've played against really good teams that just want to show up. But we're kind of getting off track here. Let's get back to
Let's get right back.
There were a couple of positives to take away. Preston Harden made a field goal. He missed another one, but at least he made one in that game. Like I said, the rushing attack was very huge for Northern Nash. There were a couple of really good drives that Conley had. Really great touchdown passes by Christian Holly. He had 2 in that game. Also an interception in the game as well for the Vikings. So that's about sums up the whole post-game.
Stats tell quite a lot, but what did Conley really look like? Did they look confident in their playing, or were they a little shaken up?
Yeah, so I think once Northern Nash started to jump out to that big lead at halftime, it kind of shook them up a little bit, and that's just kind of how it went from there.
Absolutely.
So
confidence is a big thing in football, and losing it can be really tough. We hope they have their confidence out tonight. So then, what about Northside, Cole? They're playing Northside today, and I really don't know too much about them.
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked, actually. So a couple of weeks ago, I want to shout out my own soccer coach here, Coach Ferguson. It was brought to my attention that Northside's running back was rushing for 18 yards a carry.
It's incredible.
18 yards a carry.
I thought you were going to say 18 yards a game, and I was going to say, I mean, that could be a little better, but 18 yards a carry is incredible.
No, he's toned down just a bit. this season, as he is only rushing for 5.2 yards on average. He has 56 carries with 291 yards with 1 touchdown. The rain is starting to pick up, y'all.
It is indeed. We got a hurricane coming in, and man, might I just tell you, this game was meant to be tomorrow. I was actually going to walk in the homecoming court. That's going to be postponed next week, but we'll tell you more about that then.
Yes.
And it got canceled because of this hurricane that's rolling in. And looking around me right now, I can tell why it was canceled. We've got the rain coming out, but rain or shine, DHC game day is out here.
So let's get back to the analysis here. Their running backs, one to look out for, especially if he gets into space. Their main wide receiver, Jamian Johnson, has 17 receptions for 240 yards, which leads the team in yards. Also has 2 touchdown passes. I really want to highlight their quarterback. Their team is really, really young. They have 2 freshman quarterbacks, believe it or not. And, just to think that this kid has showed up how he has as a freshman is kind of scary, knowing that he has 3 more years here. But let me read off his stats. He has 901 yards through 5 games, which is 8th in the state in passing yards. That's 2nd in the conference in passing yards, and has 9 passing touchdowns. Someone to highlight on defense is a sophomore cornerback who has 4 interceptions. Wow. Top 10 in the conference as well.
Looking back, I was a freshman. When I was a freshman, I had a few main concerns. First was being well known, keeping my grades up. My parents were sure to hit on the grades. I heard about that almost daily. And then other than that, I had no worries. My sports, I kind of took them more relaxed. But the thing about these freshmen out here starting, the pressure must be insane. To be a varsity quarterback, a varsity player for any sport in general, as a freshman is a very big feat. But to be starting and play quarterback, which is arguably one of, if not the most important position on the football field, the pressure is incredible.
Speaking of that, football, and you saw the play. It kind of skipped over here before we started the live stream.
Yeah.
And my throw back to the receiver group was
it was bad.
I was a bit lower than average.
I'd be creative for you guys right now, but I'm not sure I could. This ball, I'm a little scared for my safety right now. This ball, it rolls on in. Cole picks it up. You can see him. He's feeling confident. He's getting ready to throw. He looks. He kind of gives a little point. He throws and just butchers it. No air on it.
Wait, that was really bad. I'm left-handed.
Oh,
you just did it right-handed.
Even worse, left-handed. Goes straight through the middle. No arc. Kind of just wobbles a little in the air. Lands. Didn't even make it to the guy. Although, I'm not sure I could do much better, Cole, to be honest.
There's a reason why I play soccer and not football. Let's just put it that way.
There's a reason why I run instead of doing either of those too.
Well, the rain has toned down a little bit, but there's one more thing I would like to mention for Northern Nash. They have 4 different receivers with 17 plus receptions, and all 4 of them have 190 plus receiving yards on the year.
And the paper's dissolving a little here in this rain.
These papers are starting to bleed through a little bit.
They've looked better. You can hear the football team. I'm not sure if you can hear them, but you can likely see them behind us. They're getting ready. They're getting hyped. Now, Cole, we've kept up with Conley quite a bit over these last few weeks.
Yes.
Who would you say are their impact players? Who should we look out for in this game?
I'm glad you asked about that as well. And once again, we have Christian Holly, who's, he's been a stud. I will say, watching that game a couple weeks ago at Northern Nash, he had a moss play in the back of the end zone in the 4th quarter, which, that was crazy to watch. So he is definitely one of the players you should be looking out for. He has 22 receptions on the year, 303 yards, 6 touchdowns through the 4 games that Conley has played. The running back position, Deshaun Williams, we'll get to that later about that incredible interview that we had a couple weeks ago with him. That was quite hilarious. If you're watching this right now, make sure you give that a watch later. That was quite the interview.
After the last game, I was a really big Krishan fan, and then last Friday the announcements come on, and they're announcing the top 3 in the homecoming court, the underclassmen prince. And I'm sitting there, I'm hoping to hear my name. I hear Tony Sanders. I'm like, okay, he's pretty cool. I'll have my work cut out for me. I hear Griff Brimhall. I'm getting hype. I'm like, let's go. I'm getting excited. And then I hear Krishan Williams. Krishan coming off the games he has, it is a big worry for me in my homecoming status.
Yes, he has 4 touchdowns, 90.8 yards on average per game, 363 yards in total on the 4 games. And best of luck to you, Griff, by the way. That's going to be a nice little race that y'all got going on. On the other end of the ball, Landon Basolano. Let's talk about him. he is always on. I mean, I see all these reposts on my
I
stories.
see them too.
Him being top in the state in tackles. He has 52 tackles.
Incredible.
52, two of them being tackles for loss. And there's a player that I've been waiting to highlight actually for a while now, and that is senior defensive end, the number 99, Alex Wooden. Pretty nice guy if you ask me. 22 tackles, 4 of them tackles for loss, which leads the team, and 1.5 sacks. So he is in the backfield quite a bit. So you should be looking out for him. A couple more things I want to touch on with this Conley team. Let's talk about the O-line. We got a comment on one of our interviews, and I will say the everything pieces together with the offensive line, and they've been holding it up strong up there in the front. And big props to them for sure. Another team that I'd like to highlight here is the kickoff team and the return team.
Yes, indeed.
Christian Holly has 209 total return yards off of 8 returns, which, I mean, that's pretty good if you ask me. So big props to the blocking on the return side and Christian Holly for all of those great returns. Another thing to mention with special teams is Preston Harden. He has made 2 field goals so far on the year and 19 different extra points. He missed one last week, but still, and it kicks better than me, as we mentioned last live stream.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was one of his first misses this season, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Preston, incredible player. The stats back it up. But his presence on the field and just, you can see every time, he's very confident in his kicking ability. He's very consistent in his kicking ability. It's very few and far between that he misses, and it is typically a much harder kick when he does.
Yeah, so another thing that we'd like to mention with Conley is where they're at in the conference. So currently they're 0-0 with a couple other teams that have played a conference game. Conley coming off the bye week, maybe just a little, some good rest. I mean, hoping for a win tonight. What do you think would be the key for them on the bye week last week? Like, what do you think they were specifically working at in practice?
I think really the main thing for Conley, and the main thing in a lot of sports in general, sports are very mental, and to keep that morale high up is really nice. So I think just overall watching film and studying, making sure they're prepared mentally and physically for this upcoming game, and just kind of working on maybe a few weaker sides of the ball that they might have. I think overall we're going to be looking at a very strong Conley team tonight.
Yes.
They're going to be coming out ready for a win, hungry for a win. And I'm just hoping we can see that happen.
Yes, so Conley looking to improve to 3-2 on the season and 1-0 in the conference. And we will get to the other teams in the conference later with our game picks with Noah Futrell coming up later. But for now, Griff, I say we go to break real quick.
I think we do. This break is going to be shorter. I know last week we had a few longer ones. To be honest, the reason for that is because me and Cole wanted pictures. We had our parents out here with our cameras, and we were looking at this Conley tunnel. We were looking at this Conley field. We saw Coach Mack and our principal, Mr. Worrell, and we really decided, we just wanted a photo shoot.
Yeah.
So we had our parents going around with us. So that was the cause for a little bit of a longer break. But here's what we're looking at coming back from the break. We're going to go probably for about 3 minutes. And then when we come back, we're going to have Mr. Sawyer, a teacher at Conley, former swim coach, and a relative of one of the players on the field. He's going to be sitting down with us and having an interview. We're going to then discuss Conley athletics for the week and go to one more quick break. When we come back, we will have our second guest, Noah Futrell, who is a captain of the soccer team, a senior on the soccer team, and he will be quite prepared. So we're going to go to break real quick, and we will be back soon.
shit.
All right, so don't pull that up and set it up. Ready?
Is yours not blinking?
Yeah, not blinking. All right, everybody, we are back. Apologies for that little minor technical difficulty. I try to be responsible in my life every now and then, and recently I've been feeling like I'm gonna make a change in my life. So I set up some screen time limits, trying to get myself off technology a little more, and it just so happened that screen time went off. Maybe it means I've been on my phone a little too much today, but we are back and we are ready. So
I do want to mention one thing before we get into our next thing. Thank you so much for the support on the last live stream. I mean, we didn't really mention that, but man, y'all blew it up. We had so much fun doing that. That first ever live stream was so awesome. And if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe at DHC Game Day. And also,
one sec, we're gonna have
working.
some technical audio check real quick. You can hear me? Can you hear Cole?
Can you hear me?
All
You can hear mine?
He says his is working. Sorry about that. We had to take a quick pause.
Okay.
But yes, thank you so much for the absolute love and support that we have received. We had a lot of followers. We're up to 500 on the Instagram now, which is really nice to have. That is a really big milestone. We're coming up on my personal Instagram following.
Okay.
Mine's at like 700.
Okay.
So if we pass that, then I might be feeling a little too jealous. But yes, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be attempting to post this live stream today to the YouTube channel, and then we're going to be hoping that maybe in the future we can live stream on that as well.
Also follow DHC Game Day because this is being live streamed on Conley Athletics, so make sure you're following us on Instagram. And I think before we get into our next portion as well, should we mention why we're wearing cowboy hats?
I think we should indeed. So, Conley, as well as many other football teams, we theme our football games. Now, this was originally going to be a Hollywood A Dress to Impress. Me and Cole were going to be out here in suits.
We sure were. Hey, be on the lookout next week against Havelock for that, though.
Next week, you'll see us out here in some suit and ties. But then, due to the rain delay, due to the change, we switched it to be a Western theme. And me and Cole just felt it would be appropriate to show up in our cowboy hats today. That's just what we felt compelled to do. It's what we were excited for.
Yeah.
And now, everybody, I want to take this time to hit on athletics for Conley throughout the week. Football, we are very lucky as a school, as a program, to have many different athletic teams, and football is not the only one we want to highlight. So before we get started, just be sure that's perfect. I just saw the microphone get plugged back in fully, so that's great to see. So this next week, what we are looking at is a busy game day schedule. Tuesday, I'm going to be going live. Cole cannot make it because he'll have a soccer game. I'll be going live with Eli Kirby. He was our guest last week, and we will be at the Rose Conley volleyball game. It will be the first ever DHC Game Day live stream volleyball game. Then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the day after on Wednesday, is that correct? Wednesday or Thursday, me and Cole will be out here together covering Powder Puff.
Oh, yes.
Which is a fundraiser that the DECA organization puts on. And you have the girls playing flag football. Occasionally you have some male cheerleaders.
I will not be a cheerleader. I've already identified that. Me and Griff will not be cheerleaders.
Oh, don't put my name in it just yet. I don't know. I might be feeling very Conley spirited.
Oh, no.
And then on Friday, we will be having a football game. That football game, I will be leaving a little early to go do homecoming stuff, so our guests will take over for me. And now time to hop into our athletics for this last week. So kicking it off with the team that deserves arguably some of the most recognition from us, the volleyball team.
100%.
We're going to have a volleyball player on to be our guest picker this week, but they are off at a game. So, but they are looking incredible. They are undefeated right now. They're ranked 3rd in the state. And one of their own players, someone in our grade, Brittany Silver, a junior, hit 1,000 kills last night. A kill is when a volleyball player hits it over the net, and then with either no hit from the other team or one, it goes out and scores them a point. Brittany is a junior, so to get 1,000 this early is an incredible milestone. She has also recently committed to play volleyball for the NC State Wolfpack. She is pretty excited about that. We're excited for her. We hope to have her on at some point later this season. But yeah, absolutely incredible volleyball team. You got anything to say about that, Cole?
I mean, I was kind of hoping she was going to be on this week, and hopefully we can get her on for next some other live stream. Because, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Griff. I don't know any of the positions for volleyball.
I was going to say.
Like, I don't know what, because like I've heard of, like, what, the libero?
The libero.
Yeah. Like, that's the well-known one, I guess.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
See, right before we got on live today, I was texting some of my friends on the volleyball team. I actually called the libero because I needed some clarifications. I had to figure out quite how volleyball is played, the positions, what a libero does, what a kill is exactly. I had to figure that out. But we are excited to cover this volleyball game. I'm going to be learning a lot over the weekend, and I hope to bring you the most full and complete experience.
Yeah, because, I mean, honestly, it looks easy at times, but I tell you what, that is not an easy sport to play.
I like to think it's easy too. And then I'm out there playing volleyball, and I'm realizing I don't even know how to dive on the ground. And I mean, some of your volleyball players, I know my friend Paige, she dives on the ground almost every play. And
what is it? It's like a pancake, sausage. Isn't that what it is? Like this?
Yeah. I think they taught us out.
I think that's right.
I just made a fist. I grabbed it on the other side, folded my thumbs down, and just went with that.
I mean, like, I don't know how to do that.
Volleyball is hard.
Shout out Coach Kirby, Eli's dad, for teaching us that at Hope. I don't know if you learned that there.
No, he taught me that too. I just don't know if I ever listened too well. Now, Cole, again with volleyball, you play soccer. What does this week look like for you in soccer?
So we're supposed to play South Central today, actually. So there was going to be a little bit of shakiness there, but they got canceled because this game is going on that we were going to be playing on this field, of course. That got moved to a later date. I'm not sure exactly what date that is. So looking forward to that. This past week on Tuesday, we played Northside Jacksonville in soccer. We went down 1-0 in the first half, came back and won 3-1. We're on a 2-game win streak. Last Thursday, we beat the New Bern Bears 2-1, and we're 2-1 in conference play, Griff.
I know. I was gonna say I showed up at around 8 minutes left in the first quarter. I saw them down 1-0, and I just sighed. I was like, "Oh no, please, Conley." I was sending my hopes. I was sending my prayers, and then I'm sitting there in the stands. I just watched an electric game. You could tell Conley really had control of the ball. They had a very strong offensive and very, very strong defensive presence, and that really just backed them into that 3-1 victory. And then not only did Conley play this week, we had two other teams, cross country. That's my sport of choice. We went and yesterday had a race down in Jacksonville. That was a conference race, and that was looking a little worse for Conley. Conley has a very, very strong cross country team. We have typically two of the top 5 runners. One of our runners, Evie, is injured and was out. And then I personally went and ran a doubleheader on the Saturday before. I ran a practice that morning and a race that night, and I was running, and I get through that first mile. I run a pretty fast mile, and I just realized, man, this is hurting today.
Yeah.
I kind of slowed down. I was feeling it. I was hurting, but we still kept a pretty decent conference play, and then we're looking at the Bow Run this Saturday. That is a big race that Conley hosts. We're looking at 32 teams and 500-plus runners.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of runners.
Conley is looking for a strong presence at that race as well.
So, Griff, let me ask you, whenever there's that many runners, do you have, like, people, like, falling over each other? Like, I don't really know how a race works. I haven't been to one.
So, typically, you split it into about your varsity guys, your varsity girls, and then kind of your open races. So, the varsity guys, you typically have 7 to 10, depending on the race.
Oh, wow.
And you all start off. But even then, for each team, you're looking at a line just full of people. They'll start it in the beginning. It's just full of shoving. I remember our first race of the season. We have a fence, and it's probably about as big as this table here. And you got to fit a couple hundred runners through that. So when you start, everyone starts pushing, they converge, and just trying to shove their way through that.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, definitely. There have been a few times where people get a little close in the woods, pushing, shoving, throwing elbows. And then D.H. Conley women's tennis is our other fall sport that's going on that I saw something from this week. They had a bit of a tougher week. They played a very tough Rose match, and it didn't look too great for them. So we're not going to dwell on their losses. Instead, just celebrate their victories. So far this season, they have been playing well. Every time they're out here that I've cross country practice, I run on by. I kind of look at them. I get a little excited. I cheer them on. And with that, that pretty much concludes our athletics. Cole is going to go retrieve Mr. Sawyer, and we're going to come on for our interview. Now, Mr. Sawyer, one of my favorite teachers at Conley. He has a habit. Every time you're sitting there, he'll come up and he'll tap on your shoulder and he'll try to get your attention. Let's make sure these papers don't fly. And he always catches me off guard. I'll be turning one way and Mr. Sawyer is right there on the next. And then sometimes I'm walking. I was walking the other day. I'm just walking. I walk into his classroom. And all of a sudden I turn around and Mr. Sawyer has my water bottle. And my water bottle is in the side of my bag, so I was a little concerned. And then I realized I was walking by and he snatched it right out. So he is definitely a fun, loving teacher here. I've loved having him. He is a former swim coach, and I'm just really proud of him. It looks like we might be having some technical difficulties. If so, we can just bring him on. We can share a mic for most of it. If it's not working, Cole, just bring him on and we'll pass a mic in between. Your papers have been flying a little in your absence, Cole.
Oh gosh.
Welcome, Mr. Sawyer.
What's up?
Nothing much. How's your day going?
It's been a good day. It's been a long day. Had a JV football game last night and drove for JV cheer, but it's good to be back. Good night to be here.
Yes, this guy is a amazing bus driver. He would drive for swim. He's actually the former swim coach, so we'll talk about that in a minute. It always excited me to get on the bus for my meet and see Mr. Sawyer's face smiling back at me. So, like we said, you are the old swim coach at Conley. How long did you coach that for?
Coached 21 years, 2 years as a assistant coach, and 19 years as the head coach.
That's incredible. I actually joined the swim team, I think the year after Mr. Sawyer left, so I was a little sad to have missed out on that. And I'm the captain of the swim team now, due in large part to Mr. Sawyer's guidance to me. And I just want to say thank you so much. Now, what was your favorite thing about coaching a Conley athletics team?
Just the students and the athletes. They're just great athletes. They're great kids, and they work really hard. And it's really a joy to work with people when they're really putting the effort in. And you can see the success. You can see it pay off when you get in the pool, and not just in the pool, but other teams and other sports as well. They really do play with their heart and put everything into it, and I admire that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
Jinx.
Just the strength that swimmers have. Like, I can't even imagine that, man. Your arms, your abs, like, oh my gosh.
It's a total body sport for sure.
Yes, indeed. Did you ever swim yourself?
I did not. They didn't have swimming when I was here at Conley, so I did not swim competitively.
You're a Conley alumni.
I am.
I'm not sure I knew that. How long have you lived in Greenville for?
I am class of '83. I've been living in Greenville since 1968, except for 2 years in California and 2 years in Germany and 4 years in California.
Yeah, so going to that Germany, can you go in depth about your experience in the military in Germany?
Yeah, after high school, I joined the U.S. Army. I left here, went to Fort Knox, Kentucky, and then I was stationed in the 3rd Armored Division, right outside of Frankfurt, Germany, and I spent 2 years there, and that was 1984 and '85 during the Cold War.
Wow.
And that's incredible, because you don't look a day over 18, Mr. Sawyer.
You guys are great. I appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely. Now, would you say training in the military helps strengthen your body and mind?
Definitely. It definitely does that, and it definitely matures you a little bit and gives you a sense of responsibility and duty and all that comes with that. It was a great experience, and definitely got me started on the right path.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Cole, would you like to hit on our next thing? You can just pick one from our list.
So for the people that are watching that may not know, Mr. Sawyer's grandson is Christian Ollie, the one that we've been highlighting so many times in these past couple weeks. So just describe to us what it's like to have a grandson at the school and someone that's a top athlete at the school as well.
I'm incredibly proud of him as a student, as a young man, and definitely as an athlete. And that's one of the reasons that I stayed up to this year, because I could have retired 2 years ago. But he was here, and I wouldn't trade a moment of it. And actually, that's why I stepped down from coaching, and so that I could still just be assistant athletic director, but then I could be a part of Christian sports and get to be there and be a part of that. And it's been wonderful. And the coaching staff here, the students, all the support he gets, all the students and athletes get. Couldn't be more proud of him. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's so neat. Such a great story. But what are your hopes and expectations for the team this year?
I think they're doing really well. Team chemistry is really fun to watch, and there's not just one target or one player. They spread the wealth out quite a bit, and I think that works to their benefit. And if you look at the defense has definitely stepped up this year as well. Last week was a really tough one. Northern Nash had that big O-line and D-line.
Oh, yes.
But, they hung with them that first half. They really
sure
did. That's a testament to what Coach Connor and his coaches are doing with the team out here.
100%. And another thing is you have something.
I do have something to say. I have a question for you, Mr. Sawyer. I just want to know. So I found out today you are a Conley alumni. You have been going to Conley for quite some time. You've been teaching at Conley, coaching at Conley. How would you describe your experience at Conley, and how would you say it feels to be a Conley athletics fan and a Conley teacher?
Oh wow, that's a big question. I wasn't always a great student, but I love being here. I love the teachers I had here, and when I got a chance to come back here, I've been teaching at Welcome Middle School for 6.5 years. I got a chance to come back, and I've been here ever since. It's like home. It's the best word to describe this is home. I enjoy it here. The people here are like family. It's comfortable. And I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade being here for anywhere else.
Absolutely. One more thing. Christian Holly's on the homecoming court this year, running for king against Conley's very own as well, Abbott Conger. We're going to get to an interview with him next week. So, what do you think's going to happen in the homecoming court?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Both of them were on as junior last year as well, and of course, Abbott won. He was great and well deserved. But Christian got hurt, so I actually had to walk for him.
Oh wow!
When they had it, but walk out, and I had on this coat here, I had my jeans and my duck shoes. It looked pretty funny. Especially my wife loved it. They put it in the yearbook. I wish they hadn't done that, but it was nice to be able to walk for him. I wish he wasn't hurt and he got a chance to do that. But I enjoyed it, and I hope they both do well. I'm wishing them both good luck.
Well, I'll be going in the yearbook later and looking for that photo. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, absolutely. And then just kind of one last thing that we want to hit on is just what are your hopes and expectations for tonight specifically?
I think I'm sure they have a great game plan, and I think if they stick to the game plan, work together like they have been as a team, I think there's a really great chance of success. I really do. If they just have to stay with the game plan, do what they've been doing, put the heart into it, I see good things coming out tonight.
As you mentioned, that team chemistry is something that is definitely carrying the team. And as a soccer player, chemistry is always a big thing too. You got to know which space you're running into, who you're passing into. Multiple times you'll have guys go at the ball at the same time, and you got two guys running at the ball at the same time. So team chemistry is a big part.
Yes, absolutely. And as we're wrapping up our interview with Mr. Sawyer real quick, I just want to tell a story I've had with Mr. Sawyer, and I can bet he knows what's about to happen. Because
hold on. I don't really know what's about to happen. Does he know about what happened? Are you sure?
He's gonna find out. Yes, he knows. So, as I was mentioning while we were getting Mr. Sawyer suited up, what he really likes to do is he'll come behind you, he'll tap on your shoulder and get you to turn the other way. Mr. Sawyer's been doing this to me since I've been at Conley. So the other day, I really saw an opportunity to get him. My teacher has a class right next to him. Looks like we might be having our national anthem soon, so we might take a quick pause for that. Yes, it is. All right, everybody. For the sake of time, I do believe I am unmuted.
Okay.
For the sake of time, we're going to have to end our interview with Mr. Sawyer real quick. We're going to skip our break and we're going to go right into interviewing our soccer captain, Noah Futrell. So thank you very much for coming on, Mr. Sawyer. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Sawyer.
We're going to be passing the mic. All right, Noah. Now we're looking at 14 minutes here. So we're going to have a little bit of a quick interview, and we're going to make our picks because we have 4 picks to get to today. So, Cole, my papers, they kind of got destroyed in the rain. Why don't you ask Noah his first question?
All right, so as me and Griff were discussing a little bit earlier in the week about this interview, it's a little different, a little weird because we're both on the soccer team, Noah.
A little bit.
But Noah is a senior this year, and you're the soccer captain, one of the soccer captains, that is. How does it feel to be a senior already?
It's pretty surreal, honestly. It comes really fast. Nothing prepares you for being a senior, but it's good. I love being a captain and showing this leader. Oh. Okay, so being a senior, it comes fast, but nothing really prepares you for it. But you're just here, and so I'm ready to get on with this year and get just having a good season so far. I think we started off a little slow, but being in this leadership role, I'm looking forward to it. So
yeah. So how long have you played soccer?
I've been playing for as long as I could kick a ball. Honestly, I remember just going out with my dad, just kicking the ball. I officially started playing when I was about 3. Just playing recreational, but just remembering to kick the ball and just having that feeling and just enjoying that time. So
now, 3 years old is a very early age to play soccer. Then, Noah, how does it feel to have seen yourself progress? Would you say you've noticed as you've gotten better? Would you say that you feel confident in your soccer playing abilities and confident in yourself?
I would say so. I would say soccer is definitely a sport where you have to definitely build on it, and it's definitely not a natural gift playing. Most people play with their hands, but playing with your feet is just a whole different ball game. Honestly, so really just that. And I would say playing just through coaches and through all my experience playing under different coaches, learning different things. I've definitely progressed since I started, and I can see that building. So yeah, definitely progression.
Absolutely. So we're going to ask you one more question here real quick, and then we'll get into our picks, and we'll explain how that works when we get there.
What's been your favorite moment so far? Not just on the soccer team, but just at Conley in general.
At Conley. So at Conley, my favorite high school memory. There's a lot of them. This whole Conley experience has been amazing. Conley's just a great school, great people. But soccer's just a whole different ballgame, right? And I would say my favorite memory comes from beating, Rose and us, our huge rival. So last year, just being able to go there, get a 1-0 win was just amazing. I mean, the crowd, there was a lot of people there. The energy was electric, and just being able to go there and get a win. That's probably been one of my favorites.
Yeah, I think I could see where that was going when I asked that question.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we're looking at around 11 minutes left. We're going to try to do our picks rather quickly today. So, Noah, here's how it's going to work. I will tell us which teams we're picking between. Chances are you won't know too much, so you'll have to go on thoughts, vibes, and intuition, which is kind of what I go off of sometimes too. So we're going to start with this Jacksonville-New Bern matchup, okay? What's going to happen is you're going to hold your paper underneath the table. You're going to make your pick, and we're going to hold it up. And then you'll have to be prepared to defend your pick just a little more quickly today. Okay. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, be prepared to turn in 3, 2, 1. Wow. It looks like me and Noah matched, and Cole picked Jacksonville.
So let me give you my reason. And of course, New Bern and Jacksonville, 2 great teams, top of the line teams in the conference. New Bern's 4-1 on the season. Jacksonville's 3-0. New Bern with multiple state championships, with the one being taken away a couple years ago, as we all know. The New Bern quarterback has 12 touchdown passes, but Jacksonville ended up beating Rose 53-20. I think Jacksonville's going to take this one in a pretty close game. I'm going to give them the home field advantage.
See, I just think even you have a state championship from 2 years ago. That was taken away in a bit of a scandal, but even then, the players, many of them are still there. Many of them trained under that coach. I just think you're looking at a strong team. Like we're being heckled a little.
Oh gosh.
Noah, do you have anything to say about your?
We're not used to this.
I would say, or New Bern. I know New Bern's a great football team. They've been, historically a good football team, a good football program. And I just think the New Bern Bears are going to win it this year, or win this game tonight.
Absolutely. Now, next, we're going to save Northside and Conley. We're going to be going to Havelock and Tarboro.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. That's that one right there.
Yeah, the Havelock one. Yeah, they also have the same Vikings
gonna
logo.
say,
Yeah, they're also the
I saw the
Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, it looks like we have a disagreement again.
So let me give you my analysis on this. Havelock's 3-1, Tarboro's 4-0. Both of these teams have won numerous state championships. With Tarboro being 1A, it's a little bit of a different ball game playing against Havelock. With Havelock, being known for their how talented they are. Them, New Bern, Jacksonville, as we mentioned, top of the conference every year. But I think they're going to pull it out here on the road.
To be honest, Cole, this is one of those where I said I was going off of thoughts, vibes, and intuitions, and I saw the Viking, and I just felt like picking them. Noah, any thought?
That is a very fair point. The Viking obviously on top. But I saw what Havelock did last week, right? And I just think they're in excellent position. I think they're a great football team. I could see them easily, going very far in the state playoffs this year. So give me Havelock.
Absolutely. Now we're going to go to South Central and Rose. These are two teams in town. It has always historically been a very big matchup. Looks like we have the football team getting ready, so we're going to have to go through these quick. Just be prepared, and then 3, 2, 1. Oh, me and Cole got South Central. Now,
that's a shot.
I think
that's a shot.
I speak for me and Cole when I say Rose has not been playing quite at the top level this season, and South Central has been playing pretty well. So this one, for me, comes from base and fact. I feel disgusted picking Rose.
Yeah, and I agree. Well, the 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago when we had game day, I actually picked them against Northern Nash to win. That ended up being a 42-36 ball game. Northern Nash won. But South Central's 5-0, 1-0 in the conference this year. Rose is 0-5 and 0-1 in the conference. A little stat to consider here for you, Griff. 2017 was the last time Rose started off 0-4. Now I said 0-4. They're 0-5 right now. They have not started 0-5 yet. So this is the first season that they have started 0-5. Will they be 0-6? I think they will be tonight. I think South Central is going to carry on the winning streak, and they're going to improve to 6-0 and 2-0 in the conference.
Yes, they are setting records, just maybe not the records that you want to set. So we're also probably going to be doing just a quick little post-game analysis on the Rose Conley game. We're seeing if we can get a pre-game show, but it is not looking too likely. But we will do everything in our power to bring you the most possible coverage on that game. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. We're looking at Northside and Conley tonight. And then just be prepared to make your pick. And in 3, 2, 1.
Yep, I think this is expected. Now, Mr. Worrell wasn't happy when you chose Hunt over.
He was not.
The last live stream. So you're making it up to him this time.
Hey, give me the Vikings tonight. Go Vikes, roll Vikes. We're getting the dub tonight.
Absolutely.
Of course.
I've always been a very unbiased picker. I pick fully on who I think is going to win. You'll see me pick.
Sure.
I have not picked Conley in our last 2 picks that I have made. But here's my thoughts. Here's my expectations. What we're looking at is this was scheduled to be a homecoming game. Conley knows that, and they are not going to schedule a team that is going to beat them or beat them by a lot on a homecoming night. I think that Conley thought this schedule through. I think Conley is coming off the bye week. They are looking solid, and I am just hyped to see what the Vikings have, and I just don't see them losing this game.
You could not have worded that any better, Griff. The Vikings are going to take this one by a pretty decent score. I think they're going to win pretty heavily here. Vikings are going to move to 3-2 tonight is my prediction. 1-0 in the conference will be the end result. And I think that's about it.
I think so.
Stay tuned for the post-game analysis. Win or lose, rain or
shine. I don't even know if we have shine.
But we will
rain or nighttime.
Post-game analysis. It's going to be late, but stay tuned for that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Noah.
Thank you, Noah. And just thank you to everyone who's watching. Reminder, we will be attempting our very best, trying our very hardest to post this live stream on our YouTube, so be sure to subscribe to that. The rain is picking up a little. You can see Conley is getting ready. The cheerleaders are already behind us. So it is with that we're going to wrap up tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, and go Vikes.
Go Vikes.